and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 5 with some more multiplayer races. For this session, we're racing A-class vehicles. However, they have to be front-engined and rear-wheel drive with no engine or driveline swaps allowed. I didn't know what to build, so I built a Corvette. It feels like it's a pretty solid choice of car. It's running semi-slicks. It's got about 450 horsepower. It's perhaps a little bit on the heavier side, about 3,000 pounds, which, okay, isn't terrible, but the power-to-weight ratio certainly isn't going to be the best here. It has got some big tyres, which I'm hoping are going to work well. Potentially. I think about 275s at the rear. I had to have slightly smaller front tyres, about 245s or something like that, just because of the PI-wise. We're going to see how it works, pretty much. We have a nice enough spot in the grid in the middle. We've got a good mixture of vehicles. RX-7, MX-5, there's a Mustang in here, there's a Maserati, a 300ZX, a couple of classic Jags, a Chevelle, which is brave. Yeah, it's an interesting selection of cars, actually, here. And I genuinely am not sure what way things are going to go. I think the D-Type could be very fast if it's not out of control. That's normally that's an expectation from the real classics. They could be fast, but they could also be very, very difficult to drive. I might struggle a little bit, I think, for straight line speed. I'm hoping I won't have too much drag. So while we aren't the most powerful thing, I'm hoping we're going to be fairly low drag compared to some of the other cars. But as I said, I don't really know. I built a C4 Corvette once in one of these. It was ran as a diesel because the diesel swap goes in it. But I haven't driven it as a more normal vehicle. I locked the brakes. Did not mean to give the Mazda a bump there. And this series of events are all on tarmac. We're going to sneak our way past one Mazda and then try go chasing after the other. So most of the vehicles here will have, well, tarmac tyres on their vehicle. I say that. Some people might try building a car on rally tyres. It was a prospect, an idea that I pondered. The reason why you might go rally tyres is you still get pretty damn good grip in the corners and you can get more power. The semi-slicks chew up a lot of PI, so yeah, you might contemplate some rally tyres. I did think it in the end. I opted not to. I don't know whether that was a good call or not. I guess we're going to find out as this one here all goes on. We kind of run out of speed or run out of power in fifth gear. We have got an okay amount of grip. I just don't think we have quite as much grip. Well, I say it's the lightness of the MX-5 which is what is going to help that car out, I suspect. We should be nice and composed. We should be nice and planted in that. Oh, and the MX-5 found the horrible wall. That is a downside of the arch circuit, is if you run wide through that section, it is so easy. I mean, I've done it before. Almost every time we come to this track, it's a place where you can get in trouble. It's not quite as bad as a couple of other circuits. The Citadel circuit, the track that I never drive around the city because the walls are horrible on that one. And even at the Bolo Ultra circuit, there's a couple of bits where you can get stuck. Here, it's just, yeah, if you push it too hard, there is just a bit of I think it's a tyre bundle that juts out that you can get in trouble with. So yeah, we have been very much gifted the lead in this one. We are easy flat through turn 1. So the RX-7 is grippy but no straight line speed. I mean, it makes sense. You've seen the size of the wing on that car. The drag is going to be immense. It could well be running on full slicks as well, which would go some way to explain it, potentially, and you would be quite down on power if you go that particular route. We'll have some big tyre widths on with a wide body kit. Of course, I don't have that luxury, but I don't think I really need much bigger tyres at the rear. The 285s are more than enough on this to put the power down, because we've not got enough power to really spin the wheels up here. We are just planted through the corners. Oh, we're going to get a bit of understeer through there. I mean, the fact that the MX-5 smacked the wall and is still in third suggests that car is pretty rapid around here. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely catching. I had a better lap that time around. I think there may be a little bit more speed in this car. I do think the MX-5 may be a smidge faster than I am here, but of the rest of the field, I don't think much has an answer for the Corvette, which is good to know. I don't know if we could defend from the Mazda, possibly, although it has to clear the RX-7, which it can probably do it a straight line. Of course, the downside is it's normally me with the handling car, although by the looks of it, we're all going to have gone quite handling this time out. But yeah, the downside of the handling car is you can just get stuck, you get held up in the corners, and then easy to pass down the straight, pretty much. But it seems like between me and the MX-5 we seem a lot more balanced in terms of straights. In fact, Mazda's kind of caught, and it hasn't really done much that lap around, so that's fine by me. We can just bomb away down this straight. Yeah, once it gets to 150, we're sort of run out of go. The car will apparently go up to 180, but we'd need a very long straight. I'm not getting turn 1 right. To get away with it, probably shouldn't risk that too much. If I could help it, basically. And 4th place is that D-type. I mean, it was a fair way down the order, so it may well have been stuck in traffic. We'll be curious to see lap times by the end of this, as it has been. Don't hit that wall like that. Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, that's the dangerous bit there. I really thought I was going to have more than enough turning to be fine through there. I mean, we pinged off it differently to the MX-5. So the MX-5 hit it and stopped, which was really bad. We bounced off it. I mean, it was kind of bad for the cars behind us because we bounced off it and ended up in front of them. The RX-7 has got 2 faster cars chasing it down, but it'll do it. That was... I don't know quite how we ended up with so much understeer at that corner. There was no rhyme or reason for it. But yeah. Quick and similar lap times really between all the top 4. The D-Type, a little bit down. There's only a couple of tenths between me and the MX-5, and a couple more between that and the RX-7. So it's close between those 3. The D-Type, perhaps on a longer circuit, will come good. The rest of the field a little bit further back as it stands at the moment. Bloody hell. We head to the Plaza circuit for our next race. Oh, we are a long way back. Not all the way at the back, but yeah, we will. Let's see how this goes. I don't know about this track. I think the RX-7 will have places where that's fast. There'll be places where the MX-5 is fast, and there'll be potentially places where the Corvette's fast. I think we may be struggling a smidge more here. We won't have the top speed advantage over the RX-7. I don't know if we have much of a top speed advantage over the MX-5, but we will have traction over the Mazda in the slow corners, potentially, with the big old rear tyres on this. So, yeah, we can maybe... And then, of course, the RX-7 will have the grip on us in the slow section. We've definitely got the traction advantage over the MX-5. Now, cold tyres will play a little bit of a part early on with this. Oh, that was a bad time to come out of ghost mode. Sorry. Sorry, still. That was not an intentional sort of squeeze into a wall. That was, I didn't realise we were about to come out of ghost mode at the point where we did. We have got an E-Type and an RX-7 to be battling with. We're going to try to send it around the outside of the RX-7, and we make it stick. I'm surprised. Maybe the RX-7 just not quite got... Oh, although I'm struggling with the brakes. Damn it, we did really well to work ourselves into the lead. The MX-5 is having a big slide as it tries to put its power down. We really struggled under brakes there to get our car slowed down. I'm not going to try to go around the outside instead. I'm going to try and cut underneath for the climb up the hill. We do. That's more like it. Chevelle is actually clinging on to 3rd. That's an impressive run so far from that car. We will try and get it parked, and we do. The MX-5 could not get underneath around there. We are out the other side in the lead of the race. There's a big squabble going on behind for the rest of the positions. The MX-5 has a look to the inside to give us a little bit of a nudge. I think there, had a lift to let us back past again. Yeah, I'm struggling with the braking on the opening lap. After the first lap, it kind of, I guess with cold tyres, the car's a bit iffy in the brake. I'm really struggling to get the braking right on the Corvette. Not had this problem in the car for a while, and I'm surprised that it's this that I've got such a problem with getting the braking right on, especially with semi-slicks and everything. It is very awkward. But yeah, we're so good on traction compared to the Mazda. That's where the big rear tyres and relatively long gears are coming in handy with this car, because we can just kind of have it in second, and we have the power and torque to go. Really struggling with the braking here. What have I done with the... What have I done wrong with the brakes? What, race brakes on the car? It's better. Yeah, there was a tyres come up. So, tyre temperature is a thing in this game. It isn't the biggest thing in the world, but you will notice it a little bit. And if a car's got a weird trait, in this case it's just locking brakes, you do kind of notice it a little bit. And it's really iffy on the opening lap. It seems to get better. Once the tyres are up to temperature, it's a little bit more consistent and kind of where I'm expecting. I managed to try to duck underneath us and it didn't go well. It clogged the wall and lost a bunch of time. But yeah, I mean, so on like the first lap, my car is very easy to drive. My car's got lots of grip and great traction compared to everybody else's. But I'm really iffy when it comes to the braking, and then it kind of sorts itself out. There's an element as well of me, of course, learning the car. I've just built it, I've never driven it before this, so I am kind of learning what I can and can't get away with the braking side of things. Quite a bit of understeer through there, but that's fine. It's bobbling around over the bumps. I don't know whether it's a good idea. We are kind of just being a little bit earlier on the brakes in a couple of places than perhaps ultimately could be, just to be safe. Like, I'd rather be a smidge early on the brakes and lose a tiny bit of lap time than be pushing the absolute limit, lock it and go straight on at a corner, because that can lose you a race. You know, maybe a couple of tenths, maybe you'll lose a race for it, but yeah, you're better off losing a couple of tenths than having an accident, basically. We've had a good run this time. We are pulling away. I mean, me and the MX-5 are running away from the rest of the field here. Once we get our cars sorted out. It's definitely a curious one. The MX-5 looks a handful. I mean, if it's got the power to keep up with me in a straight line, it's perhaps not a surprise. We have got a bit more composure in this Corvette. Second gear, maybe what we want there. MX-5 is struggling as well through that section. We have got 2 more corners to go to finish this lap. And yeah, now the braking seems more normal. I'm still really wary of this car. MX-5 struggling to keep pace, that a bit wide through there as well. It's all jumbled up behind. Don't really know what car is where at the moment. That took out the lamppost on the inside, but the MX-5 had an even worse time. I wonder if that might have been street furnitured back there from the lamppost I took out. This has been a very challenging race for this car. Really weird and unusual. I mean, it's clearly fast. It's clearly fast in this field, but no one's car's really comfortable here. The MX-5 looks a handful, and I'm terrified of the brakes in this. So that's the thing. That is a thing, and I really don't know what's in. So we've got the RX-7 has consolidated third, which I'm not surprised by. I'm not actually sure what Dan is in fourth. I don't know if that's the Chevelle. Possibly. I guess that those big rear tyres may be helping some traction, potentially, if that's what it is. The D-Type is down in fifth, and we are pulling clear of the MX-5 on this the final lap of the race. Don't do anything stupid this time around. I said that last time and immediately crashed, so commentator curse it. No, we've got clear of that MX-5. It just couldn't. Once I got the braking under control, the traction in this was just, I think, too much for the MX-5 to live with. We will round the final corner with a tiny little bit of a slide. Yeah, the Mazda just couldn't live with the pace of the Corvette. I'm pleased with that speed, actually. Corvette, nice car to drive. Not the best final lap, but I'll take a victory. Oh, it's a work for it, though. Bloody hell, that car is a handful. It's just that braking. That braking. Close, though, lap times between me and the MX-5, as expected. The RX-7 is in third. The Chevelle does get fourth. Good run from the Chevelle ahead of the D-Type 300ZX Maserati. And then we have, what is it, the GTR ahead of the Viper, and then the lightweight E-Type Mustang and M3 round out the running order. Ugh. Yeah, okay. I did think the RX-7 might have been a little, might have suited it, although it's probably only a little section of the track where the RX-7 is really fast. But no, good showing from the Corvette, and a little bit of redemption right there. We head to an interesting prospect for our next track. I'm not sure how this one's going to fare. The Tierra Prospera? I don't know how to pronounce it, but I like this track. it is a good kind of mix. There's a lot of kind of high-speed corners, which, I mean, could work quite well for the Corvette, but we don't really have the low-speed traction zones where this has been strong compared to that MX-5. The RX-7, I mean, will be fast if it has the grip. It could be very fast in some of these corners, but might lack the kind of top speed. I think we are pretty good off the line, although not the best start I've ever had here. We do get going. We will now try and chase down that MX-5, if at all possible. In the corner coming up here, the kind of 90 left is the only real big traction zone on this circuit, and even then, it's not the toughest area to get your car out of. More power. I don't think this is really that much of a power car circuit, so to speak. Like, it is faster than some of the other tracks. Oh, I went the wrong way on the E-Type. The MX-5 has snuck past. Oh, the slidey E-Type ends up, unfortunately, getting in our way slightly. Yeah, it's not really a power track because there's so many high-speed corners. You do need some grip forward, but there are longer straights, so having that little bit more power is helpful in the Corvette. I just don't know. I think the MX-5 is going to have the grip. It's not going to be as unstable. And we don't have the big braking zones, thankfully for me, that's going to cause issues with my brake locking. The MX-5 does not carry as much speed through that final corner as we do. Don't know how much speed we can get away in turn one. About that much. Just a little bit less. A little bit less and it's perfect. We are closing on the back of the MX-5. I'll be a little bit cautious under brakes just to make sure. But you see the MX-5, that's the one section there where the MX-5 might get a little bit squirrely. And we do get the power down nicely in the Corvette. The front end on this is pretty good, actually. I can't complain. We do get some understeer, although so does the MX-5. We both do. I was just kind of following the Mazda. We both do almost identical through there. MX-5 is struggling a little bit with that understeer. I wanted to duck underneath it, couldn't quite do it. We've got very similar handling traits in a weird way, but the D-Type is in third this time around. The MX-5 is going to cover the inside. That's going to make it slow on the exit potentially. However, it's some understeer, lots of understeer from that MX-5. This is a really fast section. Not quite able to get alongside there. Big understeer from both of us because we're out of position fighting. And this could play into the hands of the Jag. Again, more understeer from both of these cars. I'm on a very funky line all the way through there, which has not helped matters. So we're going to go... Oh, actually, I thought we were a little early on the brakes. We weren't. We actually ended up being a little bit late and out of position. Yeah, we've kind of shanked that one a little bit at the start of this lap. Just ended up out of sync, out of rhythm. Sort of tucked almost too close to the back of the MX-5. We will have a little tap on the brakes all the way around here, and both of us managed a little bit. That's just really struggling with understeer. So ignore the smoke. That's just a little bit of lag from the game. That's not actually, the car is not actually billowing smoke from the front wheels. There's a little bit of lag from the game and the car ploughing understeer-wise. So that's what's going on with that, with the smoke. We are caught back up. It does suggest we are perhaps a little bit faster if we can be quick enough in the right place, but we've got to be careful because the D-Type is catching now. The D-Type is gaining on us, and if we fight each other too hard, we could be in trouble here. D-Type is actually right there. I could do with finding a way past and quickly, and the MX-5 clonks the wall. We are around the outside. I'm trying to get to the inside for the 90 left. If we can pull this one up in time and make the pass stick. Parked it on the apex as best we could. Oh, the MX-5 got a bit too cheeky. I know what they were trying to do. It was a good idea, as they were trying to cut back underneath us, but I knew we parked it in quite a good place that was going to be difficult to deal with, and sure enough it was, and the MX-5 got a little too greedy and missed the checkpoint, but now got a Jag for company that is definitely not able to carry the corner speed that we are. So the Jag's all straight line speed. I mean, that's what I expected from the classic car. I'm not actually sure what the car in third is. That's a 300ZX. It's up into third, having a much better race around here. But yeah, the D-Type's going to have the top speed. It's just not going to have the composure that I have in the Corvette, which has got the stability that the D-Type is lacking. However, it's going to be light, it's going to be powerful. We're going to have a little bit of understeer through there. The D-Type's on the limit there. as it wobbles over the road. I'm just going to get slowed for turn 1, try and be neat and tidy all the way through here. Here comes that Jag. Is it going to have a look? I'm going to force it the long way around here, make it awkward, because I can. Basically, I've got the braking performance that I can, and if the Jag ends up out of position, it's going to cost it even more time. The Jag wants a nice straightforward pass down a straight, basically, and I don't want to give them a straightforward pass. If I can help it, I want to cost it as much time as I can, making sure it's further away when we do get to a straight. We will get on the power coming out of there. The D-type is sliding. It's closer than it was last lap around. I could be in trouble by the start-finish line, although we get the power down better than the Jag up the hill. A couple more corners to go. I mean, we are still struggling. We are struggling a little bit with the understeer here, but we might be far enough away here. I don't know. It's going to be really close. It's going to be really close because there's no real way to pass. There's no braking zone through there. The D-type is close, but not quite close enough. Corvette will claim victory number 2. It's a good race. The MX-5 unlucky to miss that checkpoint. I do think we had it measured for speed-wise this circuit. Although it was again. I got a quicker lap later on. It was quick though, definitely. Which I think is a little bit difficult to drive. The D-type though faster than both of us. The Fair Lady Z up into a 3rd position, which was yeah, a much better run. A much better run for that. This Corvette's proving good. Pretty good all-rounder so far. We are off to the Garden Circuit for our next race. A much more technical track than well, I guess the city circuit has some of it is technical. This is quite a handling circuit, certainly. I mean, we could be strong here. There's some low-speed corners that the Corvette's likely to be good on traction. The RX-7 could go very well here, so it's definitely going to be one to watch out. We are starting further back than the MX-5, more than the 2 Mazdas, really. They've been the main competition. I don't think the D-Type's going to work here, or the 300ZX. I think they're going to be too much of a handful around here. The Chevelle, probably a similar story with that one. We will do our very best in this as the car slips and slides a little bit through that. I mean, we've got a fair way back on the start grid, which isn't going to make life that easy for us. Oh, we couldn't quite clear. I was trying to clear the BMW and Mustang before we got out of Ghost Mode. We do on the exit here, though, at least get the pair of them. Well, the Mustang's got a lot of straight line speed, not able to outbrake my Corvette. We've got the 2 classic Jags and the 2 Mazdas ahead of us. Braking will be more of a thing on this circuit, definitely. Got a lot more of these heavier braking zones, so we'd have issues with brake locking. I don't think I really needed to slow down that much through there. Or the D-Type is in all sorts of bother through here. And we go around the outside of both the Jags. It's a little bit of rallycross, that's fine. Okay, we have gone up to 3rd. We're a little bit out of shape coming into turn 1. Now the real question is, can I chase down both of the Mazdas? Will we have the grip? Will we have the speed in the Corvette to get these two? Or me and the MX-5 both do exactly the same. We hit the wall slightly less hard. I can just jump on the power so much sooner. That's the difference, really, between us two. The MX-5, I think the MX-5 might technically have a little bit more acceleration than me if they can get the power down. I don't know how much horsepower it has got, but it will be considerably lighter than I am. And it can just get on the power that much sooner and get going, whereas I just... so I can get on the power sooner. The MX-5, if it has got the traction, it's got that power-to-weight ratio advantage. It bumped the wall. There's a half a gap down there. We were on the limit of the grip. I mean, we keep fighting like this. The RX-7 has definitely got both of us. We can get, once again, get a great run out of here, but it's almost like we're too close to the MX-5 because I can't do anything with the great run, and we're the wrong side of it through here. We're going to duck underneath. Now that is a textbook cutback right there. I knew the MX-5 was struggling a little bit through that corner. We had it on a slightly wonky line, and we were able to make the most of it, although it's quite quick in some other parts of the circuit, so this is by no means done. Yeah, it's good at getting up the inside here. Can we hold it on the way down the hill. I think we're just going to get the nose in, get ourselves clear of the MX-5, and we are now up to second. Whether I can chase down an RX-7 in a couple of laps is the question. The MX-5 just can't live with us quite through that final section either. Yeah, can I chase down the RX-7? We know it's got great grip. We know it lacks some straight line speed though. So can we make the most of our acceleration? This section is going to be important to us, and it is the part of the track coming up. Maybe after this 90 right is where we're going to make most of our maybe advantage over that. We've got to try and get close enough. We're kind of, I think the only real way I'm passing that is it makes a mistake. We might be a smidge faster over a lap. We'll not be too bad down this hill either. Make most of our straight line speed. But yeah, we've got to get closer than this, and I think it's only going to come from the RX-7 making a mistake. I mean, we can be brave, and we have got good grip, and we have really closed. We had a great run through that final section, but where are we going to be able to look for a way past into turn 1? And the RX-7 does make that little mistake. Oh, the RX-7's in trouble. The pressure's getting to the Mazda. We are going to try and duck alongside. Can't quite do it yet. We could try a similar manoeuvre we did to the MX-5, cross it over here, but the RX-7 carries more speed. I know this is where we want to be crossing it over. I can't. The RX-7 parks it on the apex, and I could not get my car across in time. We're going to get one more chance, and that's on the exit here. I think we might have got it. The RX-7 is out wide. Corvette's found a way past. We got the move done. We put enough pressure on the RX-7, I think, and it just made little errors on the final lap. And we will take the Corvette to the lead, although the Mazda can carry good speed through that final. It's just, the Mazda could carry better speed through that final section than I could, but there was just nowhere to overtake in that final section. Victory goes the way of the Corvette once again, although it was also very, very close. We get fastest lap around that one, though very similar between me, the MX-5, the FailRace, and the RX-7. A little bit further back, surprised by that one actually. In terms of the lap time. The lightweight E-Type also doing pretty well, which we haven't seen that. We've seen that struggle a fair bit so far. So that's probably the most competitive show I've seen from that one. But yeah, the Corvette running very, very nicely. For our final race, we head to the Estadio circuit. I mean, every time we've gone into one, we're at the back. I mean, me and the MX-5 are at the back. The RX-7 was mid-pack. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I expect the likes of the D-Type and the 300ZX are probably going to be more competitive here. The Estadio circuit is a great balanced track. I love it. It is one of my favourite circuits in the game. But it is a good balanced circuit. You've got high-speed corners, you've got low-speed corners, you've got long straights for top speed, you've got traction zones, you've got almost everything you could want to test a car out. And the Corvette has been consistently strong. All the tracks we've gone to, pretty much. The longer straights could play to the hands of the D-Type if it has got enough composure, and that is going to be the real question. We have some heavy braking zones, but we don't quite have the really low-speed stuff that we saw at the Plaza circuit. So that might help me not have too many locking up issues. I think now I'm kind of aware. Oh, there was a Corvette-sized gap to try and fit through there, but it was only there very briefly. Oh, I'm so glad the Mustang backed out of that one, because I wasn't sure how much grip it was going to have. Oh dear, we got a helping hand into that one, and I'm going to be the wrong side of all of that. Yeah, they got very busy down there. Oh, the 300X going to have a look to the inside. We might be able to cross it over here. Can't quite do it. I mean, the concern for me in terms of a race victory is that the MX-5 got all... God damn it, I had a great run through there, and I think the MX-5 was trying to wait for me, but it got all crossed up, and I just had a great run in a bad place. 300X doesn't have as much top speed as I thought it did. Okay. It's got... Maybe had crazy corner speed, that's why it was fast on some of these tracks and has struggled elsewhere. Because yeah, I was not expecting. I thought that was going to bugger off. I guess it has got aero. I should have thought more. But the D-type so far gone. Even if we're quicker than it over a lap, we've wasted too much time early on. We're never going to catch it. Don't need to downshift there. Could have been faster. Now we can go through the chicane properly this time out, and we carry good speed through there. The Mustang does seem to be a lot more comfortable here than it has been at previous circuits, although this is the part of the track that it won't enjoy. This is the part of the track that D-Type won't enjoy. Mustang gets a big slide, and I try and cross underneath it, and that'll do. Yeah, it's just not quite got the grip in the low speed. High speed wasn't too bad for the Ford, but the low speed stuff's just not got the grip. The 300ZX has not got anywhere near the straight line speed to keep up with the Corvette down there, but I have got to be careful because if I get stuck in traffic, it will sneak up on me when I don't expect it. Chevelle having a stronger race this time out, able to, I presume, make the most of its straight line speed and not have too many handling issues. My hope is if we can get a good run on the exit here, we get underneath the RX-7 and we outrun it, which indeed we do. I have a little bit of a lift through there. Now into the chicane we go. It is not actually great from me, but the Chevelle got into more trouble. It bounced the curb and got onto two wheels. The RX-7 is having a look. It has an overlap, so I'm going to have to kind of yield a little bit through there, although it's on a really tight line. So we have no speed on the exit, and we are clear. The D-Type, I mean, we are catching the D-Type, actually, because the D-Type will be really fast down the start-finish straight, but it's going to hate that chicane in the final corner. I think we're going to run out of laps and time to do much about the Jag, but we shall try our very, very best. I mean, if any car can, it's going to be the Corvette. I think in this field, it has been monstrously quick everywhere. You can see the D-Type really struggling for traction. I mean, we are flat through there. There's no wheel spin, there's no sliding, there's nothing from the Corvette. It is just glued to the road. But of course, it doesn't have the straight line. You can see how much we've left the RX-7 here. It doesn't have the straight line speed of that Jag. I'm still having a little confidence lift through there. I don't think I actually need to. But it's at the kind of the point where, D-Type had a wobble. I mean, we got some understeer mid-corner, but not as scary a moment as the Jag was having through all of that. I mean, we're closing, but we are going to run out of laps, I think, to do anything, unless the D-Type has a big moment on this, heading on to the final lap of the race, because it can just outrun us. We were absolutely flowing away from the RX-7 here. A little bit of lag as well from the Jag would make it a scary prospect to try and overtake. Okay, can we find a way to make up enough lap time? And we will close massively through here. Get the change direction nicely there. We do. It's going to come down to the chicane. If the D-Type gets the chicane as fast as it can, it will be far enough away I can't touch it. If it makes any mistakes, we will be there ready to pounce, and we are flat through there. Right, down a gear as we turn in to the chicane. For us, the D-Type does get it nicely enough. It's nice enough that it's just out of range. We got it absolutely wonderfully in the Corvette, and we are reeling that Jag in. Well, after I said the D-Type had such a lead, and it did, it had an absolutely monstrous lead after the first lap. We have got a lot closer than I thought we were going to. One more lap, and I think we could have had it. With the rate we were catching, that, we needed another lap. I think that circuit might actually be the one the Corvette was best at. After all that, bloody hell, I like that Corvette. Jeez. I'm gonna go with the yeah. Yeah, that was bloody fast. Nothing had an answer for the Corvette. Nothing. The MX-5 was not great there, which surprised me. I guess it's just a little bit too unwieldy, perhaps, around that track. Nothing had an answer to the Corvette there at all. The D-Type was not bad on a good lap, but I think the D-Type was just difficult to drive at that sort of pace. Like, you could see it was a real handful. We were watching it be a very difficult car to drive. However, the D-Type would claim a victory. Yeah, that Corvette is an absolute monster. I really like that car. The D-Type is on rally tyres. That's what I said at the start. I wondered if someone would. It looked like it was on rally tyres anyway. This could be like vintage race or something. But, I really like that Corvette. That has been a wonderful, wonderful car. We've had a lot of very good fun racing as well in all of this. That, though, shall be it for today. If you would like to sign up to take part in the next one of these, you can via the Discord. There'll be a link to it in the description. Find the Versus Community sign-up section, and you can register to take part in there. That, though, shall be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.